It's very convenient for the world to just tell us which way to go. Hey, welcome back to more Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we helped out a little bit more training out with the Liberators, and this time we're going to be advancing on our way because we heard about we saw some possible evidence about where Niall might be. But we're going to take care of one quick thing first, which is right in this corner over here. We got a container.
What have we got here?
Maybe a little bit difficult to find because of the just because of how out of the way it is, but the ether mass really helps us out, and that's our final container for Yesterdale. So very nice to have that all taken care of. But yeah, we're gonna go out towards Ragwell Lake, and yeah, can we force you down? Doesn't look like it. I mean, obviously we eventually can, but couldn't right there.
Whoa!
And not exactly how gravity works, but to be fair, it is also a magic line. Isn't like it's well, I mean, ether, it's not really magic. Whatever. We'll also build this ladder so that we can get another way to access this point. We did see the other side of this ladder before, but mainly that's to get a little bit more field crafting in. Not really too much need for that.
I can take point.
But we'll advance on our way. So we finally get up to the Ragmos Desolation for realsies. And this time, well, we got a little bit of a new thing out here, a Fog Rift. Fog Rift, as we fight it, will eventually start summoning a few enemies. And of course, as per anything else that shows that, you have that little marker on the top right, it'll get more defense. Well, not always more defense, it usually is, but we'll start spawning enemies. It'll be more difficult as there are more enemies to be fought, and so on and so forth. Let's go over to Rex, I guess. Focus on the rift. Not really. Yeah, there's not really too much need any sort of way for this, but just what we're happening to go with. And of course, again, because there is so much AoE in these Xenoblade games, start taking out the other enemies even as we are not even focusing on them. Let's Mega Blast. I still haven't switched out my Ouroboros parries. I need to really do that. Really not too much AoE there, which is unfortunate. Oh well. What can you do? We'll just keep focusing in on the Fog Rift, however, because, I mean, our allies will be able to take care of the other things, and we can just clear it out there. Get a good chunk of AP for defeating any Fog Rifts that you find, and we can see that there are 3 of them in the region. Of course, as per usual, we find an enemy, we want to go and beat it up. You get a nice launch to start because of Rex's initiative art. Shape man. Yeah, right now we're just clearing out the area, and again, we're starting to get a little bit more legions out there. I mean, we're leveling up a lot quicker here than we did in base game. Just get more experience, I believe. It fast tracks you. The DLC is not as long as the base game, but I mean, it still is. It's not like it's a short DLC. Is short by any means, but It's just blades do things significantly faster, because that just kind of makes a little bit of sense, I guess. Call allies, you have no friends, Mr. Avi Squarwer. He just resisted the launch, which is annoying. Oh, right. Only launch from the side. Whoops. Forgot about that little detail. And just going along our way, we got some Flammy over here. Martially resplendent Flammy. Lots of Flammy. We also grab ourselves a black shard, which can't do anything with that right now, but eventually, don't worry. There will always be things for us to find. But the black shard is for the...
Would you look at that? An ether channel.
Black shard is for more rails. So, yeah. You see out in the distance, we can finally have a little bit of... finally can see some Levnesses. We can start getting the Tetsudo parts, which are going to help us get our blades upgraded even further. Just gotta kind of grind those a little bit. Yeah, the music in this game is very, very nice. It's... I mean, there's not too many tracks in added in the DLC. I believe there are only... I want to say there's only like 7. And, well... Well, if you include Night and Day themes, it's 1. It's not many. I think overall it's 13, I believe. I'd have to double check my my music folder on the DLC one. Cause that a little bit different between them. But yeah, right now we're just gonna keep focusing in on enemies. And are we going to... Still not quite enough to finish off their Monsterpedia entries, but again, we can just keep moving along. No reason not to encounter things. I think that Gold is probably going to get involved in the combat. Nope, it's going to turn around just in time for it not to. Always good to finish up more Monsterpedia entries. It looks like they slip on a banana peel every time that we get the initiative launch. So, oh, I slipped! Whoops! I'm just so stunned by our rival that slip on a banana peel. One thing I'll always like about this game is the art style is impeccable. Like especially with the regions are so good. This is probably some of the best scenery that I can think of in any games. Because again, it just looks so good and everything fits in. It hangs up. It doesn't the thing with the Switch is that you're not gonna have the most realistic graphics. You're not gonna have these halfway to photorealistic character models as you might find on consoles or a good PC. But what you are going to be able to find is just the art style that Nintendo knows how to do is so nice. We do have some Tetsudos, whatever I want to call them, which we will focus on. Let's go and take out some Agnians, I suppose. Guys.
Don't push yourself. Right on the money. Looking good, Brad.
Come on, guys.
Good. I'm done. Rex, we can't do this without you.
And we got caught up in a... We were very smart out here. Yeah, sometimes the AI can be a little bit weird. But, like, Nintendo's very good at stylizing their games, so that it does, because again, the Switch has much less processing power than, you know, any other current gen games. Current gen systems, I should say. So, by working on a style, figuring out, alright, what do we need to have to make this run well, while still looking good? Something that Nintendo does very well. I mean, Nintendo's never had the, you know, well, I would say, since the two remaining console brands, I guess, have come out, you haven't really had anything that's been... Nintendo's not been the most focused on the, like, the technical aspect. Nintendo's a company that likes to innovate, and again, that goes with their art style. And Xenoblade, I think, is one of the best markers of, like, how good they can really, like, stylize their games. How good they can really make everything look so good while still just being, you know, in a, what is halfway, it's kind of a handheld still. Obviously, the Switch is a weird, like, combination of them. Obviously, when I'm recording it in console. But, again, this game looks beautiful. Xenoblade 2 looks beautiful. In terms of the character models, I'm not the biggest fan of how they did, Definitive Edition of Xenoblade 1, but that's fairly nitpicky. It's weird that, I say this, like, I always describe Xenoblade 2 as, it's a very anime game, but Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition has too anime of an art style. It doesn't, man, does that make sense? Absolutely not, but whatever. I mean, I think that Xenoblade 3 does put that up, like, way better than everything else. I think that again, just the art style that 3 has in terms of both, you know, in terms of how the characters look, in terms of how the environments look, I think it is really good. Now we can get the Lumos Pillar Remnants, all nice and discovered. We can hear some conflict going on. And we'll just focus in on... Because we won't have any trouble taking on this whole group. It's just a bunch of dudes, just a bunch of lads, no problem whatsoever. It gets us even further onto our affinity. We're still gonna wait for the affinity, until everyone has level 2 affinity, before I start really going in. Because I want to get everyone up to being able to cancel arts. Because that is a very big thing in 2 and 3. Canceling arts into other arts is where you really start speeding up the gameplay. I mean, already the gameplay is a lot quicker than it was when we first started going through with this. And they're here to ambush us. But, like, already we can see that the gameplay is a lot quicker from even when we first got all 6 party members. We were already seeing that things are going quicker. We're doing a lot better with... We see the big numbers a lot more, and we're starting to see more rings all over the place. And it's just, you know, you progressively get that further and further up. You progressively get stronger and stronger with, you know, how you are able to fight, how well you're able to do anything, and it just, it's really nice. I love the hectic nature that Xenoblade 3 combat is. Yeah, there's a lot going on all the time. And I love how over the top a lot of it is. And, well, I guess he's just okay. Cool. Hoping for a little bit more. Like a, oh, thank you for saving me! Sort of deal, but... Fine then, don't thank your saviors. Got an affinity scene over yonder.
What is this place? Looks older than Colony 9 by far.
To be honest with you, it's a super ancient ruin. And when I say super, I mean ultra mega ancient.
Yeah? Buildings made of stone. That's pretty primitive, all right.
Hey now, it's primitive buildings like these that are still standing today. Admittedly, there's not as much left standing as when I saw it the last time. But still, you can feel the magnificent weight of history, right?
Huh. Suppose?
Wow, tough crowd. I guess it figures.
Let me be honest, I don't recognize what this place is supposed to be. Lumos Pillar, I don't fully recall.
It's got a name.
Ah, well.
Well, that's wet my whistle, that has.
Let's go and we'll finish off the episode by taking care of Perambulator Moritz and his squad of cronies. Shan't be much difficulty here. At least I don't think so. As long as we just take out the small lads first, they should be good. So medic and a tank while you have the Testudo kind of focusing in on the combat aspect. And once again, Matthew full of beans. Right needs to really check out his bean consumption. Yeah, just, well, I mean, again, we're still early game, so we're not really finding too much difficulty, and we're also pretty solidly leveled at this point. Ow. And we'll find more difficult fights later, of course, but we're keeping in track, well, actually keeping a little bit above level right now, but that happens a lot more with Future Redeemed than it does in the main game of 3. Just because they really encourage you to fight all the time with the Monsterpedia, with the, well, with the enemy people. Yeah, it encourages you to fight more often, so you end up getting higher level, you end up just doing a lot better, you find a lot more things. And there was also a little bit where I kind of had a bit of screw up in terms of having to do 2 separate runs of leveling people up with the bonus experience. But, ah well. Oops, do not focus on them. Focus on Preambulator. And let's just pop this one in. Sure. Start out with Rix. Him a lot to start with. And 15 on own reactivation, sure. What does that get us to? It gets to 96. That's probably as close as we're about to get. Should be fine. And of course, we did see with the in the Affinity we get more TP on level 2, so we'll be able to find more in terms of your. We'll be able to get just stronger and stronger progressively as we get. That's fine, I think. Yeah. Like, we'll be able to get stronger and stronger just because we're getting more TP. We're getting closer and closer up to the... really up to getting at a point of... what am I trying to say? We're getting closer to just... We start off stronger with our chain attacks. We do more with them. And it just keeps going like so. We have Matthew and Rex, which means I need either Nicole or A. A is the only one available. That would set us over the edge right away. So I don't quite want to do that because we're gonna get a. We're gonna get top F anyways. So just do as many attacks as possible. A gets her light speed going. Pew, 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 pew. Deliverance Flash! And we can start off with... Sure. Start off there, we'll have then A go for a Sky Ray. And then finally, high crit rate wounded plus... I'll go with the high crit rate. Get us an amazing... Nice 7-11. And this should kill. Right? Yeah. The burst ends up killing, but... Regardless, takes out our first unique monster of the Ragnos Desolation. And... hold up, did he... I assume he dropped a... Oh, I've got a couple here. So that's Alexandria, that is... I'm not sure if that is... That's... Really? Me is that early? Alright. Okay, so all pretty decent, actually, but... Regardless, as I said, we are now at the 20-minute mark, so that'll do it for this time, and next time, we'll go and continue along our way. But until then, see you guys later.